me. Okay, yay, BJD prompt 4. Backstories. This one's going to be the one I am dreading most so far because it's all up in the air right now. Like I had mentioned back in prompt 1, they were originally adopted mother and son. She, being my first character, had a really tragic backstory. I'm a sucker for backstories like that. She was originally an elf because I was tired of dealing with humans. And now she's a fish creature called an Alterian because elves seem to be so popular. Changing it up again. Her backstory is that she had lived in this kind of small village by the ocean, obviously, and humans came and destroyed it, hence the reason why she hates humans. And she was wounded pretty bad, so on her left rib cage she has a pretty bad scar from getting slashed, but she also has one going from, from the right collarbone down between her boobs. So she was injured pretty bad, on the verge of death. Her brother actually did her a favor and sort of hid her more or less under a pile of tree roots and stuff, something along that line, in order that she would, in hopes that she would survive and continue on and either get revenge or, whatever his thoughts were. She woke up and stumbled about for a while, and in a daze kind of sees the carnage, which in effect traumatizes her even more, because it's closer to her are like immediate family, mother and father or so, and then friends, and then whoever else in her village are just all over the place. And there's fires and explosions and the whole 9 yards. So she stumbles about and in a sense stumbles into a portal that originally brought her to our day and time, where she woke up in a hospital, managed to get out, but there are huge gaps in her memory because that's sort of where her split personality came from. In order to deal with the trauma, her brain came up with another personality, Mizu, a little more on the aggressive side, and is more of a survival instinct. So when she's in over her head danger, she's like this close to being killed or something, she'll snap into Mizu, and not that she necessarily finds a way out of it, it's a defense mechanism. However the brain works, that's how it works. So K-Dell is a little more, I don't want to say mellow. She's always been kind of spiteful, always been not so in your face, but she'll tell you like it is. She'll tell you she doesn't like you to your face and make sure you understand. She yes is yes, no is no kind of thing. Now just for Mizu, amp it up just a touch more. She's, like I said, a little more aggressive. She will definitely do something just to piss you off and watch you squirm. That's just how she is. When she came here, she had wandered around for some time and then kind of subconsciously, routinely passed by this orphanage in her wandering through the city where Luke happened to be. He was 3 at the time. His parents were killed in a car crash. He was at a babysitter's house. I have sort of since come up with. His grandparents back in, what did I say? I think it was Australia now. That's right. He's Australian, hence the blonde. They are too elderly to take care of him, so without anybody taking care of him, he goes into an orphanage. There he spends, how long was it? He's about 10. So yeah, about 7 years. He's in there, and he's not treated very well either. He's becomes claustrophobic because one of the ladies, if he's acting up, will shove him in a utility closet. He doesn't like the dark, doesn't like small places. He had, after a while, ran away and lived on the streets from 10 till, I had originally said like 17, where they met up again, but that's obviously since changed. He now, I'm still working on him, kind of. I know I want him to live on the streets for a time to make him kind of hardcore. He was in a gang for a while, kind of thing. He wound up getting out of it, more or less, because he accidentally caused somebody else's death, which made him kind of wake up. I know he did get into music to kind of cope with that afterwards, which is why I don't know why, but he's going to kind of veer a little more towards the steampunk side, and it may be just because of a steampunk guitar that I saw, which would look really cool with him. But I'm still working on his story. She is, for the most part, her backstory has remained, but it's more along the lines of how they meet, and they're not so much adopted mother and son like they were. She found him at the orphanage. He kind of clung to her. He was the first person to truly get under her skin in a good way in this world. So it was one of the first. She realized she needed to be needed, because before she was sort of just a tool. But now she has somebody who relies on her in order to survive. It's kind of changed her perspective, and he's human, which, ding, sort of, one of the very few humans she ever made friends with, and he's this little weetot. So I basically want her backstory to be the same, but it's when she goes into the portal, how they meet, because he's now 21 when they meet, and then how they interact and eventually become brother and sister is something I'm still working on. So if anybody can give me ideas, that'd be great, because I'm sort of in a rut. I'm stuck. But that's essentially what I got so far, and I'm pretty pleased with it. And I'd honestly like to get more of it completed so that I can start more or less storyboarding this photo story I want to do, because I have a trip I'm going on, which is why I was so eager to get her. There's a trip I want to go on, which would be great for photos, particularly because it's near the ocean. It'd be great for her homeland. So tips, ideas, I'm all up for them. Thanks a lot, guys.